Call the meeting of the BZ&E Committee meeting to order. It is 4:01 p.m. and it is November 26, 2025. Please call the roll.
Chairperson Mike Seville.
Here.
Vice Chair Patty Smith. Alderman Javier Bañuelos. Alderwoman Juani Garza.
Here.
Alderman at Large Will White.
Here.
3 present, and let the record reflect that Alderman Franco is present.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Then the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, 25-0944. Approval of the minutes from the BZ&E Committee meeting held on November 12th, 2025. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Garza, second by Alderman White. Any corrections, additions, or deletions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 3-0. Do we have any members of the public clerk wishing to give public comment?
Yes, we do, Chairman.
Okay. Could you please read the public comment section?
Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, all persons shall be permitted an opportunity to address public officials under the rules established and recorded by the council. Under our rules, any person may address the BZ&E Committee for up to 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes allotted for all public comment. No person other than the timekeeper or the chair for the purpose of maintaining order may interrupt a person recognized for public comment during his or her comments. Members of the BZ&E Committee shall not engage with nor respond to a speaker during the time set aside for public comment. Staff is directed to follow up with members of the public with respect to any concerns raised during public comment.
Okay, please read the name of the first person willing to give public comment.
Mavis Bates.
Mavis Bates. You can choose either podium, Mavis.
Okay, I have handouts.
Okay.
Because I like to read. Sometimes it's easier to read than.
Really? I can hear myself great here.
There you go. Okay. My
You
name's.
have 3 minutes beginning now.
Okay, thank you. My name is Mavis Bates. I live in Aurora. This new gas station would be bad for Aurora. It would be bad for the environment, bad for public health, bad for our economic development, and especially bad for our quality of life. A mega gas station will pollute our air with volatile organic compounds like benzene, toluene, and xylene, all chemicals known to cause asthma, birth defects, and cancer. Leaks from underground storage tanks are common and can contaminate millions of gallons of groundwater, which Aurora relies upon for our drinking water. The land used for this mega gas station will be condemned forever. Cleanup of contaminated brownfield sites is so expensive that abandoned gas stations can become ghost towns with no future purpose or cleaned up at a huge expense, often to the taxpayers of the community. Runoff of harmful pollution, such as gasoline, oil, and grease, can get into our nearby waterways, even the Fox River, harming our local ecosystems. We already have so many gas stations that we don't need any more. Have you had to wait at a gas station lately to get gas? Probably not, or maybe just a minute or two. There's another gas station right across the street, and Woodman's about a mile away. With sales of electric vehicles growing, gas stations will someday become obsolete. This land is zoned in the comprehensive plan for office, research, and light industrial for a good reason. Its intended purpose would be a business park with a low volume of traffic, little noise, and activities that are enclosed and don't create significant nuisances. A mega gas station is the opposite, creating more traffic, more light pollution, and more noise at all times of the day and night. Oh, I can't see. My clock didn't start.
You have 53 seconds left.
Oh, well, it didn't show. We are all concerned about economic development. This mega gas station will be bad for our economic development. They don't make money from gasoline. The revenue will come mostly from the convenience store, using predatory pricing practices to undercut the businesses of local stores and restaurants, such as Woodman's, Aldi's, Portillo's, and Chipotle. Property values can also fall due can also fall due to a gas station. Crime often goes up, with cash changing hands 24 hours a day. We can do better with this piece of land. Please don't sell it off to the first bidder. There are many other essential services that could provide revenue to the tax coffers, but not create all of these problems. We all love Aurora. We need to protect Aurora with all our might from the exploitation of these mega gas stations.
Thank you.
Please vote
Mavis.
no.
Thank you. Please read the name of the next person willing to give public comment.
Marisa Martinez.
Welcome. You have 3 minutes beginning now.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I would like to thank Alderman at-large White, Alderman Franco, and Alderman Seville for taking my phone calls to discuss the gas station in particular for this development. So for those who don't know me, my name is Marisa Martinez. I am a proud resident of Aurora, and I currently work as a Deputy Director of Stewardship and Sustainable Investments at the State of Illinois Treasurer's Office. This public statement is my own opinion and not that of the Treasurer or his office. However, I feel that that's an important piece to share so that you can understand that I'm a credible source and someone to listen to. I am a proud outcome of education in Aurora. I attended Hall Elementary School, Jefferson Middle School, then West Aurora High School. Then I pursued a Bachelor's of Science at Lewis University and then a Master's of Science at Northwestern University, where I attended on a full tuition scholarship to study energy and sustainability. So I stand before you as someone who has used my Aurora education to open doors at one of the top universities in the country. And now I am bringing this education back to serve my community. Therefore, I implore you to understand that fossil fuels are an unsustainable source of energy. And allowing a permit to include a gas station would be ignoring the science and turning our backs on the best interest for future generations. With that said, if you must vote to allow this developer to take away the peaceful environment that Aurora residents experience before turning onto I-88, then at least consider the following community-centered request. I ask that the developer contribute to a community benefits fund to create green spaces to build throughout the city. Secondly, I encourage the developer to have green spaces within their plans so that we can house community events. If I cannot convince you from an environmental and climate perspective, I hope that you can consider that gas stations, unfortunately, can lead to increased human trafficking. And I ask you, why would we want to bring that to Aurora? In closing, I ask you to consider, why encourage students to pursue an education if when they come back to explain that education, you don't listen to them? So please hear me out. In closing, this is an opportunity for you to protect the best interest of the children in our community and future generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers wanting to give public comment?
We do not, Chair.
Okay. We'll go to the agenda then. I'll read the first item on our agenda. 25-0692, an ordinance vacating city easements and stormwater control easements on the property located at the southwest corner of Butterfield Road and Farnsworth Avenue in King County, Illinois, 60502. Hi, Tracy.
Hi. Tracy Basic, Zoning and Planning Director. This is just a vacation of some city easements and a stormwater control easement. The property owner did a final plat revision, and then they developed the property and they didn't need these easements, so this is just a cleanup.
Okay, any discussion? Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion been made by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman White. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried 3-0. The next item is 25-0845, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a drive-through restaurant, 2530, use on the property located at 404 North Yellow Road. And the second one is related, 25-0846, Resolution approving revision to the final plan for the Oakhurst Center subdivision located at 404 East North Eula Road and 4044 North Eula Road.
Sorry, I'm just getting the map up. It's not working with this other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, take your time.
Maybe it's just my computer. Hmm. You do have the stuff in your packet, so I'll just
Mhm.
go with that.
We do.
The subject property is located at 444 North Yellow Road and 404 North Yellow Road, which contains 2 lots. The first lot contains the existing 23,000 square foot multi-tenant commercial building, and Lot 2 is currently being utilized as parking. The petitioner, the Oakhurst Center LLC, is requesting approval of a conditional use for a restaurant and a drive-through facility use on Lot 2 of the Oakhurst Center subdivision. The detail of the request includes a new single-lane drive-through restaurant in the existing commercial subdivision. Concurrently with the proposal, the petitioner is requesting approval of a final plan revision for Lot 1 and Lot 2 of the Oakhurst Center subdivision. The detail of the request includes the construction of approximately 2,000 square foot building with a single drive-through lane on Lot 2, as well as some changes to the parking layout. The overall parking proposed is 130 parking spaces, which meets the requirement for both lots. The landscape indicates new landscaping around the proposed building Lot 2, as well as throughout the portion of the parking lot on Lot 1, which was impacted by the proposed development. With that, the petitioner is here. If you have any questions, I can answer any questions for me. Otherwise, the petitioner is here if you have any.
Any questions of staff at this point in time? The petitioner would like to step forward and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Andy
Hi.
Kobler. I'm the owner of that property.
Welcome.
I'm Emily Hoffman with Cook Engineering Group. We're the civil engineering consultant.
Yeah, thank you. Want to just present your plan a little bit, what you're hoping to do?
I can't hardly hear.
Do you want to talk about what you want to do with the property?
Well, what I want to do with the property, oh, can you hear me okay? My hearing is not that good.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
I'm old. Anyway, what I'm trying to do is I have the center, which has been full for a couple of years already. So I decided on Lot 2 to do something with it. So I figured I'd do about a 4,000 square foot addition. Of course, Steve, the engineer, said, no, that's too big. So we're down to about 2,000 square feet for a drive-through. And I thought that might be a real good idea to do that. I have no customers yet because I didn't know if I was going to get it approved or not. So I didn't want to jump ahead of the game. So here I am,
So when you
asking
say
for
you-
approval.
So when you say you don't have any customers, you mean you don't have a use, a restaurant use
No.
to move in there yet?
Not yet.
All right, what
They'll
ki-
come.
What type of restaurant are you looking?
Some kind of a drive-through. There's many of them out there that would love a drive-through.
So
I
just
know
a drive,
that
so
from
just
my
a
realtor.
drive-through only and no seating space?
Pardon me?
Just a drive-through only and no seating space?
No, there's a few tables in there.
Okay.
It's all on the. We have that all on our.
Yep. There's a limit on the number of seats based on the parking that we've provided.
Okay. Do you have anything more you'd like to add?
Nope.
Any questions of the petitioner from the alderman on the BZ&E committee? No? Anything more you want to say?
No?
Okay.
No.
Is there a motion?
Second.
Been moved by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman White. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carried, 3-0. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your approval. Appreciate it.
And that was
Have
the
a
first
nice
one. Is there-
Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you. And so we need a motion on the second one, which is 25-0846. Is there a motion for approval?
Second.
Been moved by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman White. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carried 3-0. And the last one is item number 25-0931, an ordinance establishing a conditional use plan development, approving the Orchards Crossing plan description, and amending Chapter 49 of the Code of Ordinances. City of Aurora by modifying the zoning map attached thereto to an underlining zoning of R4A, two-family dwelling district, B2 general retail district, and OS-1 conservation open space and drainage district for the property located at northeast corner of Sullivan Road and North Orchard Road. Is there staff here to present?
Sorry, having trouble with the projector again. All right, Tracy's gonna try to bring it up for me,
Okay.
so we'll start. Okay. All right, Jill Morgan, Senior Planner. So the petitioner, Targa Acquisitions, is requesting a conditional use plan development and to change the underlying zoning district from ORI to R4A, two-family dwelling district, B2C general retail district, and OS1C conservation open space and drainage district, all of them with a conditional use plan development for the property at the northeast corner of Sullivan Road and North Orchard Road. The plan description allows for a mixed-use development consisting of approximately 10 acres of residential, 11 acres of commercial, and 8.3 acres of stormwater detention. The property is currently zoned ORI, Office Research and Light Industrial. The details of the request include a plan description that outlines 3 underlying zoning districts. Sorry, thank you. The property to the north is going to be set aside for the residential. The area kind of turned the center is the commercial, and the area to the south is the stormwater detention. The plan restricts some uses by right, restricts some of the by right uses, and allows additional uses, including it's allowing up to 3 drive-throughs on the site. It's also restricting it to require a white tablecloth, like sit-down restaurant on one of the commercial lots. The bulk restriction also includes like setbacks to the roadways, and it includes a roadway agreement that will be required prior to preliminary plan and plan outlining all the roadway requirements. The petitioner did provide a concept plan showing how property could potentially develop. It is concept plan. They will have to come back through with preliminary plan for the entire site, as well as final plan and plat for each individual lot. All right, let me try to bring it up real quick. All right, so here is the parcel map I was talking about. You can see the R4A is up here to the north. That's for like a townhome development. The commercial here in the center, these 5 lots, and then there's another stormwater detention lot here, and then the main kind of existing stormwater detention lot to the south. All right, so here is the concept plan, and the petitioner's here, and they have a whole formal presentation, so they can go into a little more details on everything. And north is to the left on here. Okay. So the main entrance to the site will be from a 3/4 entrance off of Orchard Road, right across from Bushwood Drive. Orchard Road will be improved with a new southbound left turn lane and a dedicated northbound right turn lane into the development. There's also 2 proposed entrances off of Sequoia Drive. The concept plan includes the gas station, which is here at the corner when you enter the site. So over the past several years, the property owner and staff have collaborated to kind of reimagine the future of this large parcel along one of our major arterials in the city. When staff introduced a new vision focused on attracting high-end commercial users, the property owner expressed some strong support for it. The vision required a lot of coordination with Kane County. We worked for many years planning economic development to get Kane County Department of Transportation to approve a right-in and right-out, to change the right-in, right-out access that was only approved for Orchard Road to a 3/4 access, which was essential into allowing this property to be improved with a commercial development. As market conditions evolve, staff recognized that an exclusively commercial project might not be feasible. However, a mixed-use development that integrated townhomes remained viable. After exploring multiple design options, the final concept plan placed the residential in the northern portion of the property and reserved 5 commercial spaces in the center of the site. Because this is the last sizable undeveloped parcel along Orchard Road, it represents the city's final opportunity to attract high quality commercial use to the area. While the plan description generally reflects the intended vision, there were some concerns about the inclusion of the gas station as the first proposed commercial use, which did not align with the desired high-end and mixed-use character. And there were some concerns of proving that so early in the stage of the development. John wants to bring up some points as well.
Thanks, Jill. And thank you, committee members and chair. John Curley, Chief Development Services Officer. So this went through Plan Commission, which Jill will talk about the results in a moment. But I wanted to highlight that this is an instance where we've got potentially some competing desires and goals from the city, and we're trying to strike the best balance as staff to recommend approval of the large amount of the zoning requests, yet still request not permitting the gas station. The reason for that has to do primarily with our sustainability plan and goals, and I wanted to highlight some passages from our sustainability plan. The sustainability goals state that we should support projects that will promote the use of existing transportation infrastructure and services to their capacity, increase alternate and multimodal accessibility, and increase access to renewable energy sources. It further goes on to highlight more detailed goals in promoting smart growth and local and sustainable development and reusing existing infrastructure. Another goal is to reduce the overall carbon footprint. So again, we're making a recommendation that tries to allow a change in use of this site to what we think is a higher and better use. The current site, ORI, does not allow a fuel center, as is being requested, and we're requesting that the fuel center still be a prohibited use as part of the approval for the balance of what we feel would be improved and higher end uses for the site.
Thanks, John. So as Don had mentioned, staff's original recommendations to Planning Commission was to recommend approval of the plan description with the condition that gas station actually be a prohibited use. As you recall, in the ORI district, gas station is not a permitted use, so it's not permitted currently. And the B2 gas stations are permitted by conditional uses just because of the complexity that comes along with a gas station as opposed to some other commercial uses. So in the B2, it does require conditional use. The petitioner plan description is wanting to allow a gas station outright as permitted use in the plan description. And staff's recommendation was to approve the plan description as is, but to prohibit the gas station as well. Kind of all the points that John brought up. Planning and Zoning Commission heard staff's presentation, heard the petitioner's presentation, and recommended approval as presented by the petitioner. So they are recommending approval with allowing the gas station. And staff still stands by the original recommendation of allowing the rest of the development but prohibiting the gas station. Is there any questions for staff on
Any
that?
questions of the committee of staff?
Question.
Alderman White?
Okay, so question. So regarding the development, Is it feasible to still move forward with the development without the gas station?
I think that's a question for the petitioner.
Okay.
And we do not have the details of the Planning Commission and Zoning Commission meeting, is that correct?
We do not. Typically, we try to, our staff secretary does the minutes, and it was a 2.5 hour meeting. And she had already planned vacation this week, so she could not get them done. She tried her hardest and was unable to complete them. Typically, we do say like anything over 45 minutes. We sometimes try to get a court reporter, and we didn't think about that for this petition. So we do not have all the minutes, unfortunately.
Can you share the vote of the?
It was unanimous.
It was unanimous. And how many people were there attending?
6.
6-0, huh? Okay. Any questions more at staff?
The commission voted to approve the project as presented with the gas station as a permitted use.
With the gas station?
Yes.
Okay.
And when do you think we'll get the minutes?
I believe we should be able to finish them up on Monday. I think she only had about 20 minutes left of this particular project.
Okay. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, because they're talking about they have another gas station across the street. So how many pumps the other gas station have? Is it a big one or is it a small one?
It's either, I believe it's 8, I believe it's 8 pumps. No, I'm sorry, it's 1, 2, it's either 6, no, it's either 9 or 10. I just don't remember whether there's 3 bays or 4 bays. If we can get, let me look at an aerial real quick, I'll come right back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't see a problem to have another gas station across the street because it's normal. I saw many places like that with 2, 3 gas stations together. But if with the Planning Commission approval, the 6 people saying this okay, I want to hear what the alderman think and is his word.
Well, I think if I could talk after the presentation, I think that would be better for me, because then I could piggyback on some of their stuff. I mean, I could talk now, but I'll probably want to talk afterwards, so I think it would be more efficient if they talk, and then I'll comment after that. Because they're going to say a lot of things that I would say anyway, so there's going to be a little redundancy, so I think that would be, time-wise, would be better. But I will talk. I will say something, yeah.
Before we bring up the petitioner, does the alderman have any more questions of the staff? No? Would the petitioner like to step forward and introduce themselves and explain what they're proposing?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening. John Philipchuk on behalf of the GTZ Properties, the developers of Orchards Crossing. Skylar Evans with the Quick Trip organization is here with me, and also Mitch Goltz, who is with GTZ Properties. Jeremy Foreman, who was at our Planning Commission meeting with his partner with GTZ, is in St. Louis for the Thanksgiving celebration, so they're here with me. So you can have a seat. I'll address them, and then I'll call you up, okay? Yes, so we did have a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission. It was unanimous. There's a few more things that you need to know about this. Obviously, we've all driven past the property for many years, and a Toyota Motor Sales of America owns the property. They've been wanting to sell it for some time. GTZ Properties is a well-known commercial, high-end commercial developers. They were able to talk with Quick Trip about coming in and being the lead agency. A good question that you had, Mr. White, about could we proceed without them? The answer to that is no, because they are going to front fund the infrastructure improvements to do that right in, right out, and left in improvement off of Orchard Road to the development, which will not only benefit, of course, the gas station, but also the other commercial tenants that we're going to have in this development. So the fact that it's been vacant for so many years, I think Toyota's been out there 20 years or more now, and it's zoned to have warehouses and data centers. That's what it's zoned for now. And We have a contract with them, but it's coming up. We've got to close on the property if we're going to move forward by the 23rd of December. And so we have had meetings with the staff for a couple of years now. We've been working on this site for a couple of years. Staff gave us a lot of good recommendations, but it wasn't until this summer we ever heard that they didn't like a gas station. That's the first time we heard they didn't like a gas station. This summer, and we've had all these meetings, all of a sudden, gas is verboten in the city of Aurora. The development is more than a gas station. It's 2.8 acres of the site. And Mr. Goltz will talk about some of the tenants, potential users, buyers, and developers of this property. We have a couple of very interested residential developers for townhomes on that 10 acres to the north, which will give us more rooftops to utilize the new businesses that would come here. We have been especially working hard on restaurants. We've agreed in our plan description that we would withhold approval of anything on the one lot adjacent to the nice pretty lake that's there now, you know, at the intersection, for a what we call a full service restaurant. And that we envision that would be someone that would have an outdoor seating area for the warmer months overlooking the lake, and would be what some people call white tablecloth, but we call them full service restaurants rather than just, you know, a restaurant with minor seating and, you know, maybe a drive-through. So, but we have been talking to those users also. We also have someone with a daycare center that's interested in one of the lots. So we have been working on this, as I said, for quite some time, and the proposed rezoning would allow us to go forward. A lot of the people that they've been talking with to come in here say, well, what's it zoned? And of course the answer, well, it's OR&I, but we're working on that. Well, get back to us when you're done working on it, when you've got something that's been approved. And so that's why it's in the preliminary stages. We're re-subdividing the property. We've got the commercial users that we are anticipating coming onto the site. And we feel that this is the highest and best use of the property. I know that there were comments from some of the residents about you know, not wanting to see a gas station, but the bottom line is that the C-store is not you know, just a small component here. You know, it's over 6,000 square feet. If you've been in a Quick Trip, they're a wonderful store. You wouldn't believe it. I was so impressed. I was just at an opening on one, and they've got like a service area with almost looks like beer taps, but it's not. It's all kinds of coffee drinks and lattes and stuff that you just go up and you pull the lever and fill up your cup. I mean, they don't have a sit-down area inside the store, but food you can get and take out. And we have auto diesel at our pumps, but we have 10 pumps, that's all. It's not a mega, to me, a mega gas station is a Buc-ee's. Have you ever seen a Buc-ee's? I mean, they have 100 pumps. I mean, these things are monsters. That's not what this is. And it's not on 39 acres, or 30 acres, it's a 29-acre site. And staff mentioned the things that were gonna be permitted uses there. So we have basically, you know, full-time, 5 full-time employees, and then we have part-time employees. They make a very good wage, and the managers especially make great wages at our stores. And so we feel that this gives us the ability to come in, take advantage. Some people that said something about, well, you know, the traffic, it's going to be a traffic generator. No, a warehouse will be a traffic generator. That's going to bring semi-trucks in and out all the time, 24 hours. A gas station, they utilize pass-by traffic. I mean, this isn't a destination, it's pass-by traffic. And so the traffic's there. 35,000 cars a day on that portion of Orchard Road. 35,000 is what our traffic counts. KLOA is our traffic engineering company that we used. And as you know, we've been before you many times, KLOA has. And so we feel that it's an ideal development that we're proposing. We're working with staff, and we felt we were going definitely in the right direction. Then all of a sudden, gas stations weren't permitted, apparently. So we explained the situation, and the Plan Commission listened to public input, listened to our input, and listened to the staff report, and decided unanimously that, no, the petitioner's request is reasonable. The property should be zoned, and a gas station should be allowed as a conditional use in this development. That there's a benefit. Not only will this development, as we're proposing it, generate perhaps millions of dollars in revenue to the city, just permitting fees, and then we've got the fact of retail sales tax dollars. We would anticipate this particular use with gasoline taxes and retail sales taxes, we're probably in the $700,000 a year revenue source to the city. Just this user. Not to mention the rest of the commercial users that would be coming in, some of which will be retail, some of which will be restaurant. So it is an economic boon to the area. It's a great location out right at the interchange with I-88. There's no gasoline between DeKalb and Orchard Road in Aurora, and so we think that it won't be just residents of Aurora that be utilizing. It'll also be some of that passing traffic that'll be utilizing. Plus, the residential component makes good sense because people that may work to the east or going in Chicago, I mean, they're right there. They're on 88 and able to go, and so that those are some of the reasons that we felt warranted a development such as this, and certainly with the Quick Trip people moving forward with this allows the infrastructure to go in so that then we can sell lots to these other users and thereby improving the conditions for residents of Aurora and for the finances. Let's face it, the finances in the city of Aurora. It doesn't need to stay a cornfield any longer. But if we can't put this together, well, it's going to be back Toyota Motor Sales Zone ORI. So what do you think they're going to do? They've been very patient. They've been very good with us, but this has taken a long time to get to this point. So that's why we were sorry we didn't have the minutes for you, but staff gave you the recommendation, and we really do need to move forward. So if I could just take a few more minutes, I'd like to have Mr. Goltz come up and just give you some examples of some of the things that they have worked on as a company, and if you have questions about who they've talked to, many commercial users that we would love to have in Aurora. So, Mitch, if you could come up.
Thank you. Thank you. Mitch Goltz, owner of GTZ Properties. Thanks for having us today. Just want to piggyback on what we just said. We've been working on this project for a very long time. This project is very similar to many others that we've done, many of which are underway right now. We've been developing property in and around the Chicagoland area for almost 20 years. This is not a gas station development only. This is a big project that the gas station will take up about 10% of, but this is an important part. We recently got a very similar project approved in Long Grove, Illinois, northwest suburb, next to a shopping center. The Quick Trip is coming in and fronting millions of dollars of infrastructure for all the site work and engineering and curb cuts and whatnot, and we're bringing in other food and restaurants and retail users. So this we see a much bigger vision for, given the size of it. There's a lot of beautification that will be done as part of this, as it is just vacant land now. So this is the project on the stream that we were recently, we're in the permitting stages right now in Long Grove. Sorry, wait. Is this the wrong?
Yeah, it's kind of it.
Okay, just the short one. We've developed for all the restaurant users, retail users. We have multifamily developers that are interested in coming in for portions of this project. As it was noted, a lot of those users need to make sure the project is happening before they invest the time and money and resources into putting together future plans on the site. But there will absolutely be a large multifamily component. We'd have several outlets. We are already talking to several restaurants that are interested in coming into the portion along the pond, and they're excited to be near a Quick Trip because a Quick Trip brings people to the site. So this will be a big increase of. Will be a big elevation of, I think, the aesthetics of the property. Will help be a catalyst for further development in the Orchard corridor that I know has been an initiative of the city. I'm happy to answer any questions. I wish you had the staff report, I'm sorry, the report from the Plan Commission, but it was a unanimous ruling. And we think we agree with their findings and hope to see something similar here. So thank you.
As Mitch has stated, we're doing 10 acres of multifamily, and then we're also doing 12 acres of retail. So it's a large retail development. This is the site plan again. I've marked out the Quick Trip property here. As stated previously, Quick Trip's kind of we're funding this project as a whole without the Quick Trip being able to come in and build in our lots under 3 acres. We're going to set up the other lots for all the other utilities and things like that, as well as do the public road improvements that actually unlock this property.
These are some examples of some of the buildings we've completed. Multi-tenant buildings, Panda Expresses, daycares, restaurants, and we've done this across the entire Chicagoland market. So this will really bring a lot of quality and new businesses and jobs, and not only the sales tax, the permit tax, but employment and other things that the property currently does not generate.
And then Quick Trip, this is the building that we're proposing here. This is our newest building. It's our latest model. It's our Generation 4. And this one is over 6,000 square feet. It's very open. It's very modern. It helps with the flow of the store as well as the overall property. 10 pumps for passenger vehicles, very similar to what's already kind of in and around Aurora. The one thing that we do differently is we kind of have the old school pumps. We don't have any of the music or any of the videos or anything like that playing on our pumps. We don't have any music playing outside of our store. Floor plan here, on the left side of your screen is the check stand that kind of molds into the kitchen. Our employees are multifaceted, so our kitchen employees also work the check stand, and they also work the store floor, also work outside. Building elevation, we make sure that we cover up our equipment up top in the buildings. Standard gas pumps here. And then if there's any questions on the Quick Trip, I'd be glad to answer. I know that there was a couple things brought up, so if there's anything that you would like me to address on the Quick Trip side of things, please let me know.
Jeremy, if you could address the security issue. Someone brought up the security, that this is a place where trafficking can take place with children and robberies, things like that. Could you explain what kind of security systems you have?
Yes. We're not just a normal gas station. We are trying to fight 70 to 100 years of, gas station history. Quick Trip has right around 100 cameras on our site. That's in the building, outside the building. We have security monitoring to each corner of our property, all the way to our property lines. Most of the time, our cameras can see into the public streets as well, which if anything happens, car accidents or anything like that, a lot of times the police department will come in. We can work with the police department right there on the spot. They'll come in, watch the video behind the check stand, and then go on about their investigation, and then they can request the video footage later. We have 2 security locations ran by Quick Trip employees, one in Dallas, one in Tulsa. We operate 24/7. And then also our employees carry pagers on them. They have buttons on them that they can push that alerts the security center. They pull up the cameras, assess the situation, and call the related emergency services. That way the employees in the store don't have to take their attention off of what's actually going on in front of them. Those pagers also have a gyroscope in them, so if they fall or if an employee falls or anything like that, if it's on its side for more than 3 seconds, it sends a signal up to the service center, again, pulls up the video cameras, assess what's going on. We can locate that pager via GPS, and that way we can figure out what's going on. A long history of convenience stores history that we're trying to overcome, and we take that very seriously, and that's the reason why we employ so much security stuff into our buildings, is because we understand there's been a negative history and we want to be a part of the positive history.
Thank you very much.
Does Quick Trip have any charging stations on their development, their lots?
So we don't show anything on the development or on the Quick Trip particularly. We have talked about it in Planning Commission. We can run conduit. We're testing EV chargers as a company elsewhere, in our Denver division particularly. But we see EV chargers as a better use probably somewhere else on the development that we can help get the infrastructure there for that. It would make more sense in a restaurant setting or somewhere where people are actually going to spend about 40 minutes instead of, the 5 to 10 minutes that you would spend in a convenience store.
Any questions to developers from the committee?
I have a
Alderman
question,
White?
yes. Trying to get an understanding of the actual footprint of the Quick Trip. Can you go to the proposed site plan slide?
The floor plan?
This says proposed GTC proposed site plan.
Okay.
Not that one. It shows the entire
The bigger one?
project,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, I see the QT. So if I, it's hard to explain. So, where are the pumps? Where are the
You see that the rectangle in front of the store?
Okay.
That's a canopy, and then there's 10 pumps under the canopy.
okay, and then the parking spaces go around?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that, I guess that square is
That's the
Quick
lot
Trip.
that they would build on, yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So that'll solely be the gas station. There won't be restaurants there or?
No,
Okay, got it.
that's
Okay,
correct.
Understood. Okay.
And you mentioned that you've been working with other potential developers and the like, but nothing's been inked?
So we'd be working, we are the developer for the property, as GTZ. We'd be working with residential developers on the 10 acres that we're talking to several developers now who have kind of waited to make sure that this project's happening, because the amount of planning and detail and organization that has to happen within a project like that is a lot. And if the property lines shift or the project changes, it would make a lot of that wasted time. So that would be a residential developer that'd be doing that, and then we're either going to self-develop the lots or sell to the individual users, some of whom we've noted. We're talking to the likes of like Pan Express and some daycares and other restaurants. So we would be happy to develop it for the tenants, and they become tenants of ours, or sell to the end users, and they can self-develop their own pads. And to Skylar's point on the EV stations, just go back to that, we've been seeing a bigger trend of restaurants liking to do that as part of their projects. And sometimes the vendors they bring in to do those, want some sort of exclusivity on the EV stations within the development. So it was a business decision from Quick Trip and also us to let the project take its form, and then we'll make sure that there'll be some stations somewhere on the project, and we're just not sure which lot yet.
But like I say, nothing's been signed or anything.
No, I mean, just given the amount of site infrastructure that this project needs, which is millions and millions of dollars, the users that we're talking to typically come in and want to, buy an improved pad or develop their building within a small footprint. Until this project gets to the point where it's financed and the plan is set and engineered, the access is confirmed, we're not able to get the level of commitment we would like, because, it's all conditional on things that are out of their control. So, but we wouldn't be closing on the property quick without confidence that this project gets filled. There'll be many millions of dollars in the hole until this site gets developed in its majority. But we're confident in the site, we're confident in the site plan, and confident in the market to bring us users to fill this project.
Okay. Any questions?
Well, my
Alderwoman
only comment
Garza?
is I'm happy to try to do this, because we really want to create jobs, and it's a revenue for the city. So I know some conditions, and we have city council, we have the decisions, and when they present another ones, so we have the opportunity to say yes or no. But right now, what I see is the opportunity to create jobs and have more revenue for the city. Especially in my position, I don't want to raise taxes to the residents. We want to raise taxes and taxes when we have the opportunity to have these improvements in our city and create more jobs and bring more revenue to the city. I'm in favor of this.
Thank you.
Would the developer be willing to put in a clause in this if the council decides to approve this, that there be charging stations somewhere in the development?
Yeah, we have no problem agreeing to that.
If staff could come up with the appropriate language.
Yeah.
You can understand why they would wait. Like, it'd be more sense for a restaurant if you're going in to have a meal and you're gonna be in 45, 50 minutes, an hour. That's the place where it should sit to be charged. So that's what they're anticipating.
Yeah, we have no problem agreeing that somewhere within the larger PUD that there'll be EV stations. So we're happy to work with staff or corporate counsel on the exact verbiage of that. But that it's a benefit to the project. It's something that we expect. The technology behind that, it's changing by the day, but we'll for sure make sure there's part of it.
We'll be back with final on May. Once we got our users, they gotta come back in, you'll have a review of their site plans and stuff.
Yeah.
We
No
still have a
problem.
long way to
Yeah.
go, but
Okay, we
yes,
got it.
we'll be.
Sure.
Chairman.
And I'm sorry, Alderman White, go ahead.
So with this development, what's the time, if this moves forward, what's the timeline of having this fully built out with the restaurants and the townhomes? Would it be put in stages over multiple years, tackled all at once? How would you do
It's
this?
unlikely that a project this size with, eight lots would all get developed at the exact same time. I think the plan would be to first get the engineering approved for the larger plan with the tension, the grading, the access, and then I could let Skylar from Quick Trip outline that. But the expectation would be that there'd be, pad deliveries for the retail lots, probably within the 6 to 12 months of, that when the Quick Trip would start, and then the residential, which would probably have to go through its own process, given the size of it, would likely be a 18 to 24-month process for them to start to finish, just given the size of what that building could be or building. So I'd like to think that in the next, 36 months, you wake up and the project is fully developed and the market will have some impact on the speed. But, everyone's motivated to see this developed. It's been a long time. So.
And you brought up the timeline to bring the townhomes. I see that you started at 200 units and then it was reduced to 60 to 70 units. Can you speak more to that?
Yeah, we were looking at multifamily structures initially, and the staff had indicated that it would probably not be favorable to have higher densities here. And so we decided to look at a townhome type product. That's why we're asking for the R4A zone.
We also added in 2 additional retail lots. So we started with 14 acres on the residential side and switched 2 of those acres over. So we added 2 additional surplus pad to our retail side.
And I am concerned about the amount of discussions that's been going on for a couple of years. At first, the city staff was supportive of a concept, and then all of a sudden it was stopped in the summer, and then now we don't have the planning commission minutes, so I can't really read and understand the dynamic that was going on with that as well. But we have Alderman Franco here from the 5th Ward. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, so let me start out by telling you about the mistakes that have been made on Orchard Road over the years. Orchard Valley Golf Course, wonderful golf course. I probably played there 600 times. Should not have been on Orchard Road. The Heinz Trucking Company should not have been on Orchard Road. People tell me all the time, why aren't we more like Randall Road? Well, we kind of blew it back then. I don't know how that happened, but we should have kept that more commercial. That's what should have happened. It didn't. I don't know why. So I don't want to make the same mistake that we made historically there. We have an opportunity to take 35,000 vehicles a day and create a commercial area that my people in my ward, I'm going to tell you every day, Alderman, no more warehouses, we don't want more warehouses. I have supported them off the beaten track, but they don't want anymore, and they're right not to want anymore. So having commercial, which is always what they want, is basically, it's not what I want, it's what they've been telling me they want. I had meetings this summer. I just had an HOA meeting the other day. I told them exactly what was looking to go in there, and they were happy that we're going to get commercial in there. Now, with the gas station, the impetus for this whole thing is they're going to put in millions of dollars of their own money to make it attractive for others. I had paid $12,500 out of ward funds for the study and the engineering for the right-in, right-out to, to do a study with Kane County. So we put a lot in there. This is what people want, and I don't see how we would allow Toyota to say, all right, we're going to sell this land because you guys couldn't get your act together in 3 years, and that's kind of what's happening right now. They're getting a little bit impatient. I don't blame them. And then it's going to be industrial of some sort, and maybe get a warehouse, and maybe get a data center, or maybe get something else, another truck company. They do not want that. And that would be a crime to take the last great piece of Orchard Road that we made mistakes on over the years and not try to put commercial in there again. So I don't even think, to me, based on my constituents, they would be more than happy with this, and they would be extremely unhappy if it went the other direction. So that's why I'm basically very passionate about this, because I've been hearing it for 10 years, and they're right. So I'm basically doing their bidding. They want commercial there, we should get commercial there. And if they have to put in charging stations, which is wonderful and stuff like that, that's great. When I hear some of the arguments, the peaceful environment, Orchard Road is not peaceful. IDA is not peaceful. So some of these arguments, I don't think they're really germane to what we're talking about. This is a commercial area, probably one of the best ones you still have left in Aurora because of the traffic on Orchard Road and because of 88. So for us to go a different way and not use that for commercial, I think would be fiscally irresponsible. As Alderman Garza said, that's a lot of money coming in. We're talking $4 million in permitting fees. We're talking $700,000 a year just from the gas station. So you're talking about a project that could reap $5 to $10 million. And if we're in a so-called budget crisis, I can't even think of a better time to move forward more commercial and revenue-generating operations. So that's why I am pushing forward. And again, as I told the people at the Planning Commission about all this, they were, I don't want to say enthusiastically, all for it, but they were like, this is an easy one for us. And they went unanimously for the project with the gas station. So I just want to throw that in there because it really matters when the people want a certain thing that we kind of go with that, and it makes sense. So that's all. That's the only comments I have on that.
Okay. I can fill you in a little bit of the history of that Orchard Road corridor. The Orchard Valley HOA was established because of flood control, because the amount of the type of soils that were out there, the amount of flooding that we had out there. That was really their only economical solution, is to actually deed that over to the park districts to build a golf course with all the retention of the water. And thereby they could have that land developable because it wasn't developable according to the soils and the water at the time. And that's when they put up the single family. That made the most sense for them, with the land that would be available for flood control, and ended up being the golf course. As opposed to the craft and the like, that was originally supposed to be the outlet mall that North Aurora has. And we negotiated, the city of Aurora negotiated the agreement with them. And they went to North Aurora and they said, can you do better? And they said yes. And so because of the incentives that they gave that we couldn't give, that's why the North Aurora Auto Mall went there. So that's why we ended up with what we did. So I guess hindsight is always 20/20, but this is a good developable piece as well. But again, I am concerned for the lack of the Planning Commission minutes. I would like to read them in depth to find out why they went against the planning staff at this time. So does the developers have anything more to say at this point?
Well, as I mentioned, our timing is such that we're on a schedule here to hopefully have a final vote in early December by the full city council for the project. So I don't know if you're thinking of not making a recommendation today until you see the minutes. I'm not sure what you're thinking in that regard, but well, I would suggest that we all agree as to what we heard, as far as that the Plan Commission did in fact support the petition as presented by the petitioner, and we're not willing to endorse the change, if you will, that the staff was proposing. So, and they voted 6-0 to approve what you're seeing this evening that we're requesting. And that is basically, it came down to the gas station. They didn't want a gas station as a use, and we did, and we need it. And so therefore, Plan Commission agreed that it makes sense. There's a good location for it. It's not going to be detrimental, and they recommended approval.
Alderman Seville, if I can chime in on that.
Please.
Because of the schedule we have in December, our last city council meeting of the year is going to be the 16th. So there is some urgency to move this along, because we can't even get to the 23rd, because there's nothing on the 23rd. So I think we'll certainly have time to look at the minutes before COW, and as we've seen before, things can get pushed down to the last second, so I don't think that that's inappropriate to move forward with this right now and have the minutes in between. But I will tell you right now, the minutes are going to basically describe exactly what we just said. So, but I think there is some urgency about this to get this done. If the 23rd is their drop dead date, and we don't, our last meeting is the 16th, I think the numbers just tell you we have to move forward with it right now if we're going to do it at all.
I make a motion.
Motion been made for approval?
Yes.
I do have one additional question.
Yes,
In turn-
Alderman White.
Regarding the zoning, so it's currently zoned for warehouse and data centers. Maybe someone from planning and zoning.
Or yes. I mean, staff, if you want them to answer the
Yeah,
question, Mr.
yes.
White. That is a permitted use under that current zoning, yes.
Yes, John is correct. Currently under ORI, a warehouse or data center would be a permitted use. We are in the moratorium on both of those at the moment, but under the ORI, those two are permitted uses by right.
Okay, so just so I understand, if we didn't move forward with this, then it sounds as though we would be looking at a warehouse or data center going in this space, because that's where it's this zone. So that's what it sounds like, correct?
It is, so it would be ORI, that is,
Yeah.
like, so without this, if this doesn't, if the city council doesn't approve it, it is ORI, that would be by right zoning. So those uses, depending on the moratorium,
Yeah.
would be permitted uses.
Got it.
Tracy, do you want to?
And the only thing I will say to that is obviously there is a moratorium for a reason, so we are looking at regulations right now. But right now, as it currently stands, it is a permitted use. I would suspect that maybe data centers will be a conditional use at the least. That's what data centers will. We're not really sure exactly what we're doing with warehouses yet, but.
Got it. Okay. So if we had the choice between the data center warehouse and this development, it makes sense to go with this development. I am interested in seeing the minutes, but I'll second as well and so it can go to Cal, and in between we can see what the minutes from the meeting are.
And is that including the charging stations?
So do we want to add, as a formal condition, we have written up that, that we could add a condition that BZ is approving with the condition that 5 EV charging stations be installed within the.
We're going to say a number. I think what we would agree to is that we would make sure that somewhere in the development, we would have users that would provide charging stations. Could be 5, could be more, it could be on more than one lot, it could be multiple lots.
As long as it's more than one.
Yeah, so
more than one.
we partner with the EV companies, and they kind of pick out where they want to put their chargers and how many actually make sense for their business. So with this, I suspect it'll be multiple chargers, but I can't talk because we have to partner with another company, but we can set it up for at least 2+ chargers.
Okay.
I was just going to say, can we go with a minimum of or more than, like, you have to have a minimum of, and then you can go more? I mean, something like that. I guess that would be,
Yes.
you say whatever the appropriate amount would be, but we could do more.
I would like to see a minimum of 5, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know that industry enough to say that, but I would always say a minimum, and then they can go above if they want, which would be great too.
What does staff think of that?
I say I'm not overly familiar about what the ratio with. I believe there is some type of ratio with EV charging stations. I mean, so if we want to go with a minimum of 2 EV charging stations be installed within the commercial areas within, I would also say a time frame within 5 years of the first lot, the occupancy of the first building, so that we don't hold off until the last lot is built and maybe it doesn't get built for
Right,
10,
exactly.
15 years.
That's a good point. Does the Alderman agree with that?
So a minimum with a time parameter, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, and
I
what
mean, I
is,
just want to make sure it makes sense,
Sure.
if it makes sense, that's fine, sure.
Yeah, I mean, the other option is there is 5 lots, so we could do 1 per lot. So 1 per lot, which would be a minimum of 5. So I think that is reasonable.
sorry, the infrastructure to spread EV chargers out like that is terrible
Yes.
because it takes a lot for
I'm
those
not,
EV chargers.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying that, I apologize, I'm not saying that one has to go on each lot. I'm just saying that there's 5 lots, so it would make sense if there would be 5 EV chargers.
Okay.
I mean, in the end, I was over at Vaughn Center the other day, and they've got, Tesla's got their own, and then the other users got their own. So how many of these charging stations are we gonna need? Probably a couple at least, because of the fact that Tesla has their own. So if you're at the restaurant, the Teslas will charge there, and the Chevys will charge over here, and the VW's over there. So, yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot to this yet.
I'd prefer to say no less than 2. I think the point is it's a business decision that if there's a demand for more, they're going to install more. The cost for the infrastructure is the bulk cost. There'll likely be more than one within the residential project as well. So, you know, we have every desire to put them in there. The operator will ultimately determine what the market demand is at the time. I mean, I'm not going to be here to tell you that we need 5 or 7 or 3. I don't think the amount of lots is a derivative of how many we have. But I mean, we're going to put them in there. They'll be within the commercial development. I would prefer to say no less than 2. Could be 10, could be 5. It's just too hard. It's too hard to say at this point.
Okay. I think staff can come up with the acceptable language, right?
Yeah,
That's
Well,
acceptable.
we'll work on that, and then we will have that first committee of the whole.
Okay, all right. And the other thing is I am still concerned about the lack of the minutes because it sounds like it's a little bit contentious. So I'm not disinclined to consider this favorably or disfavorably this time. But because of the minutes, I'm just going to abstain from the vote. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 1. Aye. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other business become before the PZ&E committee? Not a motion for adjournment is in order. Motion been made for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made for adjournment. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Motion is passed. We are adjourned, and it is 5:07 PM. Thank you, one and all.